Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. Yep. That is, I know this is kind of a surprise to see Charles Hoskinson on the first thing that you see on this video. We're going to talk about a number of things that you guys can see up here. We're going to talk about Holofuel. We're going to talk about Ion. And then we're going to dig a little bit in Ion's white paper. I want you guys to see a couple things. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for wishing me the best and thank you for your prayers and hopes that I'd be okay. Obviously, I put on Twitter that I've been going through a lot, which I have been. These last 6 years has been quite dramatic, and I've talked about those things a little bit before, but everything's okay. I'm moving forward with my life. And yeah, so I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about a lot of not only just Holochain. My mouth is ready to talk. And so a lot of things have happened within the last month or so. And so I am going to be talking quite a bit. Okay. I also got a surprise for you guys. I actually did something. And just to give you guys a hint, it is a rap. And it is not anything like the Christmas special. I think I'll leave that to the experts. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get started here. So why is Charles Hoskinson up here? Well, I want to play for you guys. I can't remember whether I needed to mute my video or mute my microphone. I might be afraid. I'm afraid to mute my microphone, because if I mute my microphone, then you guys can't hear it. Then okay. So, but anyways, you guys please tell me afterwards, after I press play, what you guys think of the volume. That will really help, because I plan on doing this a little bit. I do learn. I'm on the internet a lot. I do learn a lot, and I listen to a lot. I'm scouring the internet. You guys probably see me on other people's channels that talk about Holochain, that talk about all kinds of crypto stuff, and my comments are there. So I'm all over the place. One of the things that I want to talk about here is Charles Hoskinson. Now, my last video, Charles Hoskinson is literally, and you guys are going to see this. When was this? This was streamed 2 days ago. So you guys know that I was literally just talking about this, and this is something that I really want to press upon you. Please, I'll try to remember to leave the link to this video. This is very, very good. Now, you guys know I have a love-hate relationship with Charles Hoskinson. Not really the biggest fan of his personality, but I will admit that this, how he responded to this individual, was really great. But I'm going to press play, because we're only going to listen to a small part, and I just want you guys to understand that this directly relates to my last video that I talked about, as far as leaders and as far as the technology. So all you moon boys out there, and you what do they call those people? I don't know. They're like maximalists out there for each coin or technology. Listen to this, and again, this just accents what I said previously.
Only get to do that once. And the other thing is that sometimes it does require the courage to step out, because the reality is governments are led by people, not anonymous people. And if your only intent is to set up a system that does one thing, you can be Satoshi and do that quite well. But if your intent is to build something that generation after generation is going to take custodianship and stewardship of, it's a living, breathing organism that's going to change. Even if the founder stays anonymous, the problem is that all you've done is create a deity. And that you're still at the mercy of the frailties of the humans that lead the system today.
Exactly.
America is only as good as the leaders it has today. Not the hallowed icons of the past who signed the Constitution. And as good as they were, they're useless to us now. And so we have to have a system that works for us now. And when we don't, that's why you get what you get. Similarly, Cardano is only as good as the people who lead it. So if the founder was anonymous, it would serve no benefit 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, as the change.
and I'm gonna pause this just so you guys can so he's responding to it. An individual was talking about was it a good idea to be like, he wished he could be Satoshi in a way, but he's also talking about the leaders, and he's talking about the technology being used. And like this is what I talk about. This is why I refer to Holochain, and I love the tech. And I've been telling you guys, I love the tech. I love, I think I like the people. I don't know them all too well. I can only make assumptions. But when I talk about leadership, if you guys are and it seems like the technology is there, but the leadership is not to my level anyway. But maybe it will be born. Like I said, that was the whole point of my last video, is that we have to use the technology, no matter what it is, to be able to create a world in what we would want to live in. But the people who are making the rules, the process, all of this stuff are run by people. It doesn't matter what the technology is.
Changing guard happens, and you rely upon that leadership to work well. It's systems, code, checks and balances, custom present processes to get us through it. And those have to be resilient against demagoguery, propaganda, and people who come in with very specific agendas, one way or the other. There's a certain slowness to government as well. And this is by design and on purpose. And my final point. Every process takes its time. And it takes its time because complex ideas take time for people to grow comfortable with them.
Exactly. And this is again, this is the reason why we have so many. I don't go against them, I don't talk bad about them, but a lot of people don't really understand. We're going to get into Holofuel, and we're going to get into having the mutual credit system, but this stuff takes time. Things just don't evolve overnight, and no, that's not what happens. And so again, this is something that accents, Charles Hoskin is accenting this same ideology that I have with for me, with Holochain and the technology of Holochain. Now we're going to start doing some deep dives on other crypto projects, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm called the Crypto Truth. And this is something I was thinking about. I love talking about cryptocurrency. I love different projects. I can't only talk about Holochain. I cannot only talk about Holochain. But I can talk about the cryptocurrency projects that are going to be on Holochain. And then I can also talk about the blockchain projects that I think that will survive, that will continue on. Whether for popularity, whatever it is, it's all very interesting to me. So I just wanted to show you guys that my mic kind of bent a little bit here, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I muted myself. Exactly what I thought about what he stated, and I completely and totally agree with Charles on that. He did really good responding to this individual. I highly advise you guys. It's 30 minutes. You guys don't have a love-hate relationship for him, but so any of you guys who are Holochain fanboys out there, I apologize, but you guys are probably not going to like my channel too much longer, because I will be talking about other projects. Obviously, Holochain is near and dear to my heart. Holofuel. I think all of this stuff is very, very interesting, and I do think it's going to be the top of the top, the best of the best. But that does not mean that there are not going to be other things affecting us. So, all right. So let's get into Holofuel now. Again, there are a lot of people online saying, "Oh, Holofuel is the best. Holofuel is going to change the world. That's wonderful. That's great." And they're talking about mutual credit system. Please keep in mind, and we've all been kind of reminded by certain individuals, that there are going to be a number of mutual credit systems, right? And actually, Ion is one of them. The Ion token, we're going to get into that later. We're going to do a little deep dive into that, so you guys can kind of see exactly what's going on and what I'm seeing, and hopefully you guys see the same thing. So as far as Holo Fuel is concerned, some of you guys might be confused, but you guys know how I do it. I'm going to read it. But thankfully, unlike my talking, I can actually read pretty good. Here are the specific factors that determine how Holo Fuel supply changes over time. Key points are in bold. Number 1, supply decreases every time a host with a positive account balance redeem the fuel they earn through hosting. So since reserve accounts always have a negative Holo Fuel balance backed by fiat reserve, supply is removed from circulation when a host redeems for an outside currency through the reserve, paying off part of the reserve account's Holo Fuel debt. Okay, please keep that in mind. Hosts have the right to spend below zero. The credit limit being determined algorithmically based on their demonstrated ability to earn back that debt through hosting. We're gonna get into the algorithms in a second here. I.e., their fuel debt is backed by hosting power. Circulating supply changes depending on how much hosts choose to spend. Supply goes up or pay off. Supply goes down, their credit. Holo Fuel can be purchased from reserve accounts or acquired by trading on regular exchanges. The price of Holo Fuel on reserve accounts will be determined by an algorithm that takes into account the price at which the hosts are willing to redeem. When people buy fuel from the reserve, if the price is lower than the reserve than the exchange, the circulating supply will increase. Buying from an exchange will have no impact on the supply. So you guys really, people really need to understand what they are reading. And I know there are a lot of, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to do this next week sometime. Maybe next week. No, I have a visitor next week, but I'm gonna try to do this sometime where I can pull up my whiteboard and we can start going through the numbers, just to kind of give you guys a visual about this. But there's a lot of algorithm based currencies that's on blockchain, right? But they're not mutual credit. Okay, but it's new. This is something that's new. Mutual credit is something that is not out yet, and therefore we do not know exactly how things are going to behave. We do not know exactly how Holo Fuel is going to behave. But here's something that we do know. The overall supply is always at zero. And it's an algorithm. It's based on the ability to earn back the debt through hosting for some people. But then if you go down here, you can see that the accounts will be determined by algorithm that takes into account the price of which hosts are willing to redeem. So there's going to be a lot of fluctuation here. And at some point, once we've gone down this road gone down this road of buying Holo Fuel, because Holo Fuel is going to be on an exchange. We're still trying to figure out how exactly that's going to work. People who are going to remember, you can trade in your hot tokens for Holo Fuel. Now, again, everybody have their different beliefs. I do not believe that hot is just going to vanish. I think there's going to be a real utility there, and the main utility is going to be an store of value for the for Holo Fuel and the other fiat reserves. So that is my own personal opinion. That does not mean that it is fact. Once again, disclaimer, I'm not a professional of anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I am just a guy that likes to talk. So But anyway, if we can take a look at, I want you guys to take a look at this. If the price is lower on the reserve than exchange, the circulating supply will increase. Buying from an exchange will have no impact on the supply. Which means, again, we still need to figure out exactly how this algorithm works. We've seen this with Terra Luna. We've seen this with because Terra Luna, I believe, had like an algorithm thing. We don't know how this is going to work out, people. We just don't. And I'm not trying to spread FUD because this could work out perfectly. But then again, there's a lot of variables here in which we have to really pay attention to. So everyone that's like, oh man, I'm immediately purchasing Holo Fuel after I get my hot. Well, you may want, depending on what is the purpose of you having the hot token? What is the purpose of you having Holo Fuel? Because these mutual backed currencies, and I'm going to get into this, these mutual backed cryptocurrencies are really only to maintain its ecosystem that they are a part of. So that's why there's going to be multiple mutual credit systems, which means there's going to be multiple mutual credit cryptocurrencies, which means, again, that there's not going to be something that, one ring rules them all. So this is something that you have to pay attention to. Again, I don't know how all of this is going to work. I've talked about this in the past. The more hosts you have, the more Holo Fuel that will be available. But there is an algorithm there, and how that works, as far as there are going to be people to be like, if it's going to be on an exchange, it's going to be an unlimited supply. I don't understand how buying from an exchange will have no impact on the supply, other than maybe the exchanges will have a maximum supply. Because I'm telling you right now, when people buy on exchanges, especially for some people who want to treat it like a security, again, treat it like it's a security, and it's not really a security. You can treat anything like a security, really. But if you purchase it and you say, well, I want to make money, I'm going to hold on to it, and you people, this is going to happen. Some people are not going to use Holo Fuel. They're just going to let it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Or people who earn it are going to just let it grow without purchasing, without exchanging it for the fiat or that's in the reserve, right? Or maybe they want it, maybe they don't want to exchange it, and maybe they're just waiting for another. These are things that, you see what I'm saying? Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it just doesn't seem like it makes sense to say. For me, it doesn't make any sense that the something with the unlimited supply will be valuable outside of its ecosystem. Now, it's going to be very valuable, obviously, in the Holo ecosystem. That we all know for a fact. And so let's not get confused, people, that, Holo Fuel is going to take off and then people are going to be trading and buying their eggs with it. If somebody want to buy my eggs with Holo Fuel, I'd be cool with that. But or better yet, with hot, just give me some hot. But again, this is all in how we're going to be approaching this whole situation. So it has examples down here. You guys can go and take a look at about Holo Fuel and what is Holo Fuel and mutual credit. Cryptocurrency is oldest civilization, which is absolutely true. When you have a carpet, let's say you're a carpenter and let's say you sell carpets and you have 5 carpets. When you give somebody 3 carpets, that means you only have 2 carpets left. There is no more. Like, that's the balance, right? And so for society to adopt the mutual credit system, there's going to be a whole lot of things that has to change. And again, if it's going to be within the Holo ecosystem, I do think it's going to do very, very well, which it is. But at the same time, it's going to be a little bit difficult. You guys can see here from the example, Fatima application provider has a balance of 200 holo fuel. Ellie, a host, has a negative balance of negative 200. These balances represent the total active supply of 200 holo fuel. 200 holo fuel total. Okay. Fatima agrees to pay Ellie 50 holo fuel for hosting services. Fatima ends up with 150 and Ellie ends up with negative 150, paying off part of Ellie's debt and removing 50 holo fuel from circulation. So again, within the ecosystem, I think it looks great. It works great. I just don't know, even within the ecosystem, how all of this is going to work out. Therefore, it is only accounts with credit limits, host and reserve accounts that determine the supply of holo fuel. When their balances go negative, circulating supply goes up. When their negative balances move toward positive again. In other words, as their debts are paid off, supply goes down, and as long as the negative account is transacting with a positive one. So there's a lot of give and take here, a lot of up and down, but at the same time, once again, like I stated before, we're going to have to see what's going to happen. I'm excited for it total. I can't wait to get my holo port working. That's another thing for another day. Another conversation for another day. As far as the holo ports are concerned, hopefully, number one, I'm excited for the white paper. I know that Arthur Brock said that hopefully they'll have their white paper, a new white paper done. It definitely needs to be updated. I will be breaking all of that down, and you guys know how I read the other green paper. I read the whole entire page, so be on the lookout for that. Let's jump into Ion. So Ion, obviously, many of you guys know that Ion is a project on the crypto run by Holochain. This is the website. Let me go here. So I'm just going to read this front part here, but I want you guys to understand there are some things that I took a look at further down that you guys should pay attention to. And again, this is very similar. This is this is like a mutual credit system, right? They're trying to take advantage, and they even stated on their white paper they're trying to take advantage of Holochain's mutual credit system. The Internet of Energy network is an internet connected system that facilitates transactions within and between microgrids, from the appliance level to energy generation, storage, and consumption. There are two subsystems: the energy of internet network, ION, pronounced ION. Currency is the top layer token that is used as a staking mechanism to unlock value transfer to, from, and between microgrid applications. That's microgrid applications. Staking on the ION tokens unlocks Internet of Energy community credits, which are used locally to support grid services and applications and are used to transact energy value within them. The system is built on Holochain platform and benefits from Holochain unique mutual credit accounting, as well as its core competencies in privacy, scalability, and efficiency. Okay, now let's go ahead and go down here. There's the legal disclaimer. ION tokens. Okay. ION is a non-refundable functional utility token which will be used as the medium of exchange between participants on the Internet of Energy network in a decentralized manner. The goal of introducing ION is to provide a convenient and secure mode of payment and settlement between participants who interact within the ecosystem of the ION network. And it is not intended to be a medium of exchange accepted by the public or a section of the public as payments for goods or services or for the discharge of a debt. Nor is it designed to be used by any person as payment for any goods, services, whatsoever that are not exclusively provided by the issuer. And then it goes down and it just talks about all of the other things. It says ION are designed to be utilized, and that is the goal of ION distribution. In fact, the project to develop the ION network would fail if all ION holders simply held on to their ION and did nothing with it. And that's the same thing that we're looking at as far as Holo is concerned. Holo fuel. If everyone just bought up, earned Holo fuel, but nobody did anything with it, they didn't exchange it back into the reserve or exchange it for what would happen? And again, these are things that, and it's basically saying down here that it's not a loan company, distributor. It's not, basically, it's just basically saying it's not a security. Okay. So this is all very interesting, but this is just one example of what I mean by it's staying within the ecosystem, right? And I didn't read the entire ION project, but as far as the white paper is concerned, but I'm gonna definitely look at it later. I'm gonna go into some minor things there as they continue forward. But again, this is one of those things that we have to pay attention. That's why there's a lot of confusion right now when it comes to ION, when it comes to these currencies that's run on Holochain, and by the way, these mutual credit currencies, right? So there's going to be, and even ION is going to operate differently than Holofuel, right? That's just the truth of the matter. So we're going to see a lot of dynamic applications once beta rolls around for Holo, not Holochain, but Holo. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that. I'm going to be making, as I stated before on my Twitter, I'm going to be making quite a few more videos, especially this week. I'm going to be running my gap a lot. If you guys have any comments or concerns, please let me know. As I always say, please, please, please do your own research. Do your own research. And last but not least, above all else, you guys, please, please, please stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.